Another year has wrapped up. This is year 10 of our rankings. Fun, games, etc. So without further ado, Aiden, do you want to introduce our first movie of 2025? Oh yeah, also as per every year, which no one watches these, so probably no one knows, but we always do top to bottom, best movie to worst. And the reason we do that, because we usually have more fun lampooning the bad movies. We also used to just not know how to talk about good movies when we started doing this 10 years ago. Oh, Akuma does not like the smell of rum.
Headachy.
Headachy. He says that shit's gross. But yeah, we didn't know how to talk about good movies back in the day. Now we do, but too late. This is the format. We've been doing this for year 10.
10 years, baby.
10 years. So Aiden, top movie of the year, favorite movie. This is also cumulative of our list. Okay, Obi, nice. not cool.
Obi, why are you eating your brother's tail?
Because he's a prick. He's being a prick. Okay, they're chill.
Yeah, okay.
For the second. Nope, they're not chill.
Best movie of the year. Begonia, remake of a Korean film that I have yet to see, but I'm very interested in. This version much more intense than its Korean dark comedy counterparts. A very interesting and weird and tense and unexpected movie that takes a sharp turn right at the end.
That makes you wonder.
Fantastic cast. Jesse Plemons and Emma Stone, both absolutely great in it. Definitely one of the most interesting and unique films of the year. Easy number one, I think.
Fantastic.
Maybe not that easy. We have a couple very close competitors.
Yeah, this year had a couple of really good movies. The next one is Marty Supreme, recent watch.
Yep.
The Drunk View should be coming up soon. We might release this first. We might release this after the Drunk View. I don't know. Depends when we get around to it. But Marty Supreme, Timothy Chalamet is kind of at the peak of his career right now. Josh Safdie. We kind of were talking about the battle of the Safdie brothers. The Safdie brothers have split up and made two different movies this year, and they are both very good, but we had to rank Marty Supreme above. All of these movies should have drunk views or whatever reviews on the channel, so if there's anything you want to hear more about, we have it. A lot of these are streaming or sold on Blu-ray now, whatever.
Yep.
So yeah.
Some of them are still in theaters.
Some of them are still in theaters.
Like Marty Supreme.
Like Marty Supreme.
Number 3 is One Battle After Another. I don't know what to say, frankly. It's a Paul Thomas Anderson movie. It is as great as all of his movies are, and features Leonardo DiCaprio playing a character who does not have sex with someone 40 years younger than him. It is a funny, fast-paced, weird, revolutionary little film. Just a hell of a lot of fun. Certainly not Paul Thomas Anderson's best, because he's the guy who made There Will Be Blood, but
he made a lot of good movies.
He's made a lot of good movies, but very, very good nonetheless.
Next up is The Monkey, a weird movie about grief. Hit me and Aiden home. As you know, our dad passed away tragically.
This is part of my inheritance.
This is part of the inheritance. But it is strange watching it like fucking 3 days after your dad dies, because it is a weird movie about grief. So we got the real monkey experience.
At least
a weird, wacky, bloody.
At least our mom didn't die in 9/11, you know.
Our mom is still alive, everybody.
And our dad didn't die.
Give a hand to our mom.
Our dad just died of a crack overdose.
Well, something like that. Anyways, The Monkey, very good, weird horror movie. Not really horror, not very suspenseful, but it's just a weird movie about grief and fun. This one's for you, Dad. R.I.P.
Number 5, Warfare. Modern war movie. A lot of people accuse it of being a war good movie. And to that I say, they're really fucking stupid. This is incredibly realistic and disturbing and weird and uncomfortable and very beautiful. It's a very, very simple story. Arguably barely a story. But it is a hell of a visual movie. It is a hell of an auditory movie. And it is very stunning in a lot of ways.
It's a visceral movie about how war is kind of pointless. A lot of people die over something that doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but a lot of people die over a lot of little things.
Yeah.
In war, it doesn't really promote war. It doesn't say it's good. It doesn't say it's bad. It just says this is what happens when war. And speaking of visceral movies, The Surfer, which is a movie we watched at the Minnesota International Film Festival. It's one of the few that Aiden watched. There's a bunch of those on here that we've got spread throughout. But
yep.
The Surfer was a Nicolas Cage movie. Nicolas Cage, you never know what you're going to get. It's like a box of chocolates. That's my obligatory yearly Forrest Gump reference. I don't know if I've made them many, if any, years previously, but I've made it here. But this is one of the good Nicolas Cage movies.
Yep.
A man just wants to surf on his old beach he had as a child. He wants to relive his glory days. He joins a cult on accident, and the cult kind of tortures him for a while, and then are like, okay, you're part of the cult now, good job. And then he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? And it's very good. It was kind of a small release.
A lot of fun.
But it's definitely an interesting film worth checking out.
Number 7 is Mickey 17. I'm a huge Bong Joon-ho fan. Especially stumbled into Parasite and never looked back. Me and Connor went back and forth on where this should be placed a lot. It does kind of feel like it does feel like kind of a best of collection of Bong Joon-ho's previous works, which is not really soured. I still like it a lot, but
right.
has lowered its ranking for me. It feels like an American producer came to him and said, just take all your stuff and mash it into one movie.
Make American movie with American Robert Pattinson.
American version of all your movies shoved into one with Robert Pattinson.
Mark Ruffalo is Donald Trump.
Yeah.
That happens.
It sure does.
One thing I do like about Mickey 17 is it actually does a really good job of like integrating sci-fi worlds. Like it's well thought out. Sometimes you watch sci-fi movies and it's like, this is going to be like Star Wars, or this is going to be like Star Trek, or this is going to be like Battlestar Galactica, or this is going to be like Lost in Space, or one of the tent poles of the sci-fi genre, or this will be 2001: A Space Odyssey, whatever. But then in terms of like how their world fleshes out beyond the inspirations, isn't always there. And you could tell Bong Joon-ho created kind of the politics of his sci-fi universe. He has kind of creative things. It's a fairly small-scale story, but still has this epic and vast alien planet. And one thing, I'd probably compare it to like Arrival or something, where you're like, this guy wrote a ginormous lore Bible for a small story. Everything felt like it had oodles of backstory, but
it feels like you could make 100 more movies in the Mickey 17 universe without ever touching Mickey again.
Yep, and that is how good sci-fi works. That's why I like Star Wars and Star Trek persevere after 60 years, for better or for worse. And there can be good projects in Star Wars or Star Trek, and there can be bad projects, but surely after we're all dead and gone, there will still be Star Wars lore novels and Paramount Plus Star Trek original AI television shows or whatever, because they are good worlds. So next we have 28 Years Later, zombie movie revival of the 28 Days Later franchise. This one sees the return of Danny Boyle in a kind of 3-part trilogy. The movie feels very complete for being a multi-part movie. Yeah. It definitely has an angle of like, here's the cliffhanger that's going to lead into the next one, and these characters will return. We'll have to see how the second one is. But it felt like for this movie, they really wanted to have a beginning, middle, end, and here's kind of a taste of what's coming next in the sequel, which actually comes out in a couple months here. Yep. And I am very excited because I thought it was mucho scredo.
Number 9, Superman. We have the new DC universe. James Gunn is now in charge of DC, and Superman is a very James Gunn movie, which I will never complain about. And it's great. I mean, it does pretty much everything right. It's a very, very faithful Superman in a lot of ways. He's the shining golden boy of his world, and he's dropped into a pre-established world that already has heroes and villains, and we just get a little slice of Superman's life, just a few days of his life in the middle of another turbulent section. It's great to see a great superhero movie again, and I'm excited to see what comes next from James Gunn. I will
say 2025, by and large, with some exceptions, was a very good year for superhero movies. Superman, the best way I can describe it is, it's a movie that kind of says, screw the origin, you'll figure everything out. Mm-hmm. I'm going to explain everything later. So shut up. But the thing is, like, it's one of those things where it's like, watch the Christopher Reeves movie if you want the origin.
Yeah.
Because very much what James Gunn was trying to do, unlike Zack Snyder, which was trying to create something, I would say, kind of a remix of Superman and Zack Snyderisms. And Man of Steel is fine. It's one of Zack Snyder's more fine movies. But Superman feels like, I'm going to take what Richard Donner did and what Christopher Reeves did, and we're going to put that in the era of the cinematic universe, which makes it feel kind of back to basics for superhero movies. There's a fuckload of characters and tons of shit going on that's clearly revolving in this complicated universe, but it also still feels like such its own story.
Yeah.
Which I thought worked really well.
There's a Green Lantern established, and you don't need to know anything about him. You learn everything you need to know from how he acts and how he interacts. And
there's some dicks that might become the Justice League. Next up, we have the Smashing Machine. As we said, Battle of the Safdies. This one ranks pretty high at number 10 for us. Not as good as Marty Supreme. This one feels a lot more like in the vein of their previous movies, Uncut Gems, Good Time. Dwayne The Rock Johnson has his ego death movie, which I thought was fascinating because in a lot of ways it tells the story of our lead's ego death character, as well as just like Dwayne The Rock Johnson as this giant movie star who seems like a nice guy. Everyone liked him, but his ego certainly started getting the best of him, and people started to look on him more negatively, so he kind of has this ego death movie about being in your prime and then kind of having to accept and become more humble as you leave your prime, which is Dwayne The Rock Johnson's life. Hopefully he takes the lessons he made in this film to heart.
Yep.
And we can get The Rock being cringe Kino again in the way we always loved him before he became obnoxious.
Number 11 is Sinners. This is another one we were a little mixed on. I absolutely loved this movie. Connor did not as much.
I think it did not as much makes it sound like I hated it. I thought Sinners was a good movie. I'm not a racist.
Ryan Coogler, finally free of Black Panther, gets to make his One For Me movie.
One For Me before he goes to Black Panther 3.
Yep, and it's a weird rumination on music and soul and life, and takes a very strange, hard turn in the middle into being a wacky zombie movie with Michael B. Jordan playing both of the leads. Well, I mean, they're basically the leads.
A fun but indulgent revenge killing of a bunch of Ku Klux Klan members that barely feels earned, but is still just cathartic because just the idea that there's Ku Klux Klan people around in a black movie, you gotta shoot those guys up.
Yep,
you gotta do it.
Also, it has that one scene, and you probably know what scene I'm talking about if you've seen it. And I'm pretty sure if you search Sinners, that one scene, you'd probably find it. Which is an incredible little moment just tucked in the middle of this movie.
I thought the cast was good. I was feeling some Parent Trap vibes with two Michael B. Jordans. I wish they casted Michael B. Jordan and somebody who looked similar vibe to Michael B. Jordan. I just... twins played by the same people just isn't my thing. which is actually one of my big complaints. I also think the cinematography could have been better, but otherwise I think it's a really good movie. Next is The Spies Among Us. Aiden didn't see this. This was something I watched at the film festival. I watched a lot more because I was taking Minnesota allows me to go to college for free because I'm just poor enough to go to college for free.
Yeah.
And that's why I need to maintain my tax bracket until I graduate next year. But one of the classes I took was, it'd be cool to go to the Minnesota Film Festival on the state of Minnesota. So I got a bunch of free tickets for taking a Minnesota film class. And I also got to see Ang Lee. I made Aiden see The Surfer and a couple other things, but
The Surfer was worth it.
The Spies Among Us is about like post World War II, East-West Berlin, kind of spies, propaganda, people kind of turning on their friends and family to gain favor in this like pseudo post World War II communist Gestapo that was forming, that was kind of like imprisoning people to make sure everybody kind of kept in line and allowed this new regime of communism while people could look through their window and see the other side. West Berlin was starting to look pretty sweet, pretty sweet. Coca-Cola, McDonald's hamburgers, etc. And it was pretty good. I liked it. Very good.
Number 13 is Thunderbolts, which has since been renamed the New Avengers sometimes.
It's renamed that on the poster, but I think officially it kept the Thunderbolts name.
It's nice to see the MCU back. Thunderbolts is kind of the MCU's ego death movie.
Yeah.
It's much smaller in scope than the last 20 movies, probably. And much more personal. It has a theme. You know, it's this group of ragtag idiots who come together and form bonds, and the villain's a guy who doesn't have bonds, who they make friends with, and
the Avengers are gonna fight evil Superman man, but then they end up fighting depression.
Yep. It's a lot better than it probably has any right to be, and it's nice to see the MCU or Marvel, Disney, Kevin Feige loosening the leash on directors a little bit to make something a little more interesting, a little more unique, a little more personal. If they manage to keep that up after the reboots, after their gigantic slot movies that they're making over the next couple of years, I don't know. But it's an interesting turn.
Next is The Naked Gun, which was a slapstick comedy revival by Akiva from The Lonely Island.
Yep.
Keeve from The Lonely Island, starring Liam Neeson, produced by Seth MacFarlane. Pamela Anderson stars as the love interest, and it is wacky. It's funny. It does a lot of what The Naked Gun did good, which was take aging, serious actor and make him pretend to be a serious actor who's a total goober. A goober who takes himself really serious.
Yep.
Lots of slapstick, not that serious, but it was kind of refreshing, and it was one of those movies where it was a reboot that lived up really well to its predecessor, and we were talking about this in our Anaconda video, which will either come out or has come out, but a lot of old things are coming to new as the kind of superhero and superhero-like Marvel genre starts to kind of lose some box office steam, especially in non-Marvel and DC projects where you can't just make Marvel-like X movie and call it a day like they were for a long time. So we're seeing a revival of a lot of these, and you could tell they had a lot of heart and soul. Kiva made really good movies. Pop star, Hot Rod. He's always funny. Seth MacFarlane put a fucking ton of money up to allow this to be really over the top, and it worked super well.
Yep. 15 is Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. It is the third Knives Out movie, a franchise that I'm a big fan of, despite having some qualms with the Riri man himself. I think this is the weakest. Connor, I believe, also thinks this is the weakest of the three.
Yeah.
It definitely has some interesting moments. There's a lot of ruminations on faith that are kind of undercut by Ryan Johnson's Reddit posts coming out a little bit too strong.
He loves to throw his little moments.
The cast is always as fantastic, but not as fleshed out as they were in the first or second movie. They kind of get a quick intro, but you have Josh Brolin as this kind of villainous cult leader, and Dominic Montague, is that his name? Who plays the priest who kind of becomes Daniel Craig's Watson, and some other fantastic cast members. It's still very good, despite me saying it's the weakest of the three, but it is another Knives Out, so.
Ryan Johnson gets a lot of flack from me because of The Last Jedi, and sometimes he can be a little cringe-inducing, but by and large, I really like his movies. Looper's okay. The Knives Out trilogy has all been very good. This is a clearly inspired. He's kind of shifting around. I like how each time he wants to make a very unique location. It's not another murder mystery in another mansion that feels like Knives Out again, and I'm having deja vu. This time they're in a church. It's very 70s rosary drama inspired. And I've seen a bunch of those movies, and they're typically fucking boring. Sometimes they're really good. It happens occasionally. But he does a good job. It was a good movie. Next up is Fantastic Four First Steps. Fantastic Four, bought by Disney during the Fox merger. This is kind of our first major step into Fox Marvel properties getting stuff. This movie is removed from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, not just in a multiverse, but totally set in a different universe, but it is part of the grander story with Secret Wars or whatever. But this movie feels pretty low-key. Again, kind of like Thunderbolts, they allowed people to work out the box. One thing I will praise Kevin Feige on, by and large, is that 2 of the 3 movies this year were allowed to really break the formula and try new things.
Yep.
Sadly, Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four both... I think Fantastic Four probably made money, but underperformed, and Thunderbolts, I doubt, was profitable. Which probably will teach them the wrong lessons, despite the fact that they are 2 of the best, strongest Marvel movies in years. The cast was good. I thought Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, Sad Dad, was way too safe, but everyone else was pretty good in their roles. Seeing Galactus was fun. It is Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer by Tim Story, but better.
Number 17, Bring Her Back. It's from the Australian filmmakers who made Talk to Me, a movie that I watched on an airplane and really liked. This is a very interesting sort of possession movie, which is a genre I'm not usually a fan of. It is extraordinarily uncomfortable. It has some of the most disgusting stuff I've seen this year. I thought it was very interesting. I thought our lead antagonist was very strong. I don't remember her name right now, but she's very good. And it's weird and uncomfortable and interesting and well shot. And yeah, I really like to take her back. Bring her back.
Teenage Wasteland is a movie that is it's a documentary about a bunch of teenagers who basically learned about a bunch of toxic waste being dumped in a landfill. Saw this at the Minnesota Film Festival. I accidentally tripped the lady who's like the main subject of the movie because I didn't realize I was sitting next to all the stars. I kind of just picked a road near the front that I thought seemed out of the way, and I accidentally tripped her, which was kind of embarrassing, but
A little bit.
she seemed chill. It was a movie about youth giving a shit and old people not giving a shit. Isn't that how the world works? But it was good. It was, and I think I've seen actually a lot of these movies that we're talking about have gotten distribution. This one has like a real poster now and seems to have gotten some sort of distribution. So if you're interested, look into it. And I think it's recently got picked up somewhere.
Number 19 is Final Destination Bloodlines, which is the pleasant surprise of the year. The Final Destination franchise, as big a fan as I am of it, has never been particularly good.
No.
They've mostly been bad. With some... I really like Final Destination 5, but that's not the point. This is easily the best of the franchise, and a very fun, silly, sort of dark comedy take on the franchise that is over the top and weird and funny and fun and has a great cast and fun twists on an old premise and the last appearance of Tony Todd we'll ever get because he died. It's a hell of a lot of fun, and I'm glad this franchise has finally made a banger.
The first movie in our trilogy of Predator movies, Predator Killer of Killers, is an animated Hulu tie-in to a movie that isn't as good as it. There is it's like kind of an animatrix style thing. 4 Predator stories that will tie into a future Pred Avengers movie. But it's a fun animated movie on Hulu. I don't got much to say. If you're interested in the new Predator stuff, if you like Prey, it's about an hour and a half of fun fight scenes. I guess I'll take the next one. Aiden can do the next two.
Yep.
Blue Road, the Edna O'Brien story, is about Edna O'Brien, who's a novelist from Germany, Irish, and she wrote a bunch of women feminist novels that basically got banned because they talked about vaginas in the 1950s. And basically her weird life. She was friends with like Sean Connery and just all sorts of random people, and she was around in interesting circles. There's a lot of interesting stories about her. It's sad, inspirational, just kind of like an artist trying to do her art about 30 years too early to be allowed to really do her art the way she intended. And it was another film festival movie. Pretty good.
Number 22 is The Running Man, which is a surprisingly fun Glenn Powell vehicle and remake of The Running Man.
Glenn Powell vehicle, keyword.
Yeah. Glenn Powell, as with Twisters and everything else he does, is very charming and helps carry this movie a lot. It's fun, it's fast-paced, it's maybe a little too long for its own good, but it is a nice and flashy, if not nearly as flashy as Edgar Wright's other movies type movie that is an enjoyable little romp. And at number 23 we have Black Bag. Nice little spy thriller. It does get a little bit repetitive, but it's very well shot. And I think when it finally does get started, it doesn't stop. Our leads, Michael Fassbender and Norman Bates' mom from the Conjuring movies.
Yeah.
Good. It's pretty good. Not particularly memorable for me at this point, but I do remember it being a serviceable little spy drama thriller. Not really action. Drama
thriller thing. Next up we have The Toxic Avenger, reboot of the Trauma quadrilogy of really fucking weird Trauma movies by Lloyd Kaufman. Trauma, of course, kind of spawned like James Gunn's career and stuff. Big little studio, made a lot of movies, lots of fun, weird VHS schlock, and they're weird. None of them are movies.
No.
But they're all fucking weird. Some of them are really funny, they're horny, they're funny, and they're just a bunch of weirdos making weird fucking movies. And Toxic Avenger, the reboot, begs the question, what if we tried to make a slightly real movie? But not perfectly real, but somewhat real movie. And for some reason, serious drama actor Peter Dinklage decided he was going to play Toxie.
Yep.
And continues to be fucking weird. It maintains a lot of the heart and spirit of the Trauma movie, but says, let's try to make actual movie. We're going to set up walls. You can't do like the original Toxic Avenger where for some reason a kid's dribbling a basketball in the middle of the street in the middle of the night and then they shoot the child and run him over with a car. That's not something they were going to do. They were going to have real movie, no watermelons, and a lot less boobs. It's more tasteful.
A lot less
vaguely more tasteful. And it's great. I love those movies. They're fucking stupid, but I love them.
Number 25, the most recent movie on the list, Anaconda. Decently fun time. We just put out a drunk view for this, or it's about to come out. Anaconda is decently fun. It's a fun, goofy take on Anaconda, and it's the best in the franchise.
Alright, Batman Ninja vs. Yakuza League is the newest DC animated movie. They've slowed these the hell down to focus on other projects, which is fine, because they were doing them too much. They were mixed quality. Sometimes there was a good period there where they're all just shit. Batman vs. Yakuza League has an interesting, cheaper but Spider-Verse-esque mixed with anime style, kind of like a manga Spider-Verse but cheaper.
Yep.
And it's pretty unique, pretty interesting. I don't remember really particularly loving the first Batman Ninja when I watched it, but I thought this one was pretty fun. It was decent. It's a fun little extra Batman movie.
Number 27 is The Amateur, starring Rami Malek. It is a revenge movie that has a twist on it where Rami Malek is a scrawny hacker nerd who outsmarts the terrorists who killed his wife. The unfortunate part of the movie is that a lot of it was ruined in the trailer, similar to Anaconda, really. However, that doesn't stop it from being a decently good time. It's a little bit of a boomer tier thriller, but not an unenjoyable one.
I guess I'll do the next two and then grab the next two because these are movies I didn't watch. Ricky, a movie about a guy on the streets who wants to make something of himself as a barber. Pretty good. Very visceral movie. Pretty new production. I saw this at the film festival. It was pretty small scale, but it was a pretty good movie. I thought there was a lot of things to really admire about this smaller movie. The guy who made it kind of worked kind of tangentially in the industry and sort of decided to do it himself, and it's admirable. The next one is Brooklyn, Minnesota, another smaller movie of a guy in the industry who comes from Minnesota, naturally, and he made a movie about being a outsider in his small Minnesota town. Minnesota's a weird place because you got kind of the country Minnesota and the city Minnesota. City Minnesota, baby Portland, other Minnesota, Hicks and stuff, and he's become kind of a hipster man, and it's about him and his daughter finding acceptance in a different community. He acts like his parents are evil devils, and for not understanding modern stuff as much, then he realizes he might also be kind of a dick, and everybody feel good, happy-ish. Everyone learns to be less shitty. That's the movie. And it's good.
Number 30 is Good Fortune, a rare, just straight comedy. We also had The Naked Gun this year, so it's nice to have something in that genre again. This is Aziz Ansari and Seth Rogen doing a trading places,
Freaky Friday bit.
Freaky Friday, Prince and the Pauper type thing. The secret sauce is Keanu Reeves playing an autistic angel who
sucks at acting.
He sucks at his job and he sucks at acting, but in this movie it's charming because
his deer in the headlights look is actually kind of perfect for the character.
He's the perfect goober to play the goober angel, and he's the secret sauce that ties it together.
Keanu Reeves is one of those actors where you're like, he's not winning any Oscars, but you gotta love the guy.
And number 31 is Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, which is devastating.
We're entering our thesis for 2025, which is that mostly a fat disappointment. Not bad, not super bad, not super drifts.
As a huge Mission Impossible fan, I mean, I think Ghost Protocol is like top 5 movies ever made.
I love Ghost Protocol.
Final Reckoning, even compared to Dead Reckoning, I liked Dead Reckoning
Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Dead Reckoning Part 1 of 1. Final Reckoning is a movie that lacks confidence in itself. The first 30 minutes of the movie are a recap of the previous one because not enough people saw it, and that really sets the tone for the kind of sappy weirdness that that Final Reckoning is largely comprised of. But at the same time, you get to see the crazy Scientologist man hang off the edge of an airplane while it flips and spins all over, so
hell yeah.
It's not a complete waste, but I think it's probably the weakest of the franchise, which is heartbreaking for me to say.
I love Mission Impossible 2. Fuck anybody.
I love Mission Impossible 2 too.
John Woo.
It's funny.
Doing the John Woo movie with American Macho Man.
Yep.
Love it. Avatar Fire and Ash is very similar. The bells and whistles are there. Very cool effects. Yep. But especially when you consider Avatar 2 just having come out, the story's a lot weirder. I don't think a lot of the weird stuff works super well.
No.
It has a lot of the bells and whistles. Like, it's beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful CGI marvels of all time. James Cameron made several beautiful movies, but just coming after Way of the Water not being that long. I mean, Way of the Water came out, 11 years, 12, 13 years after... I'm seeing if it's that. 13 years after Avatar.
Yep.
And there's a big jump. Here, the mind-blowingness is just not there. And the story just, I don't think it's as good.
Number 33, Frankenstein.
We got the warning. Are we going to run it till we die, or are we going to try to charge it for like 30 minutes and see if we can boost to the end? How close are we?
I guess we run until we die and then we charge it.
Okay.
Number 33 is Frankenstein by Guillermo del Toro. The movie has an odd structure. I think it maybe would have benefited from a more traditional structure where the splitting the two halves of the story into two different vignettes probably makes it a bit too long and uneventful. It does have that sort of Guillermo del Toro look and feel to it. It's very creative and interesting and unique looking, although it is not nearly as strong as some of Guillermo's other works. I know it was a big passion project for him, and I did enjoy it, but it does have a lot of noticeable flaws.
Next we got M3 GAN 2.0. Megan is back with a horror superhero movie. It's kind of sloppy, it's very generic, it's very basic. They tried to live off of the dancing meme.
Yep.
I think Megan was a flash in the pan. I think even the first Megan we kind of said wasn't all that good, and I think it survived off of the memeability from the YouTube ads. People saw the dance, and I don't know. I just think the problem is with something with Megan is it went off of trending culture is what made it popular. It's been too long. Trending culture is, you got 3 months to make something a follow-up if you want to do that, and didn't come out fast enough. It was a weird superhero thing trying to make Megan a good guy so they could make an endless franchise, and yeah, it didn't land.
Number 35 is Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues.
God bless Rob Reiner.
Rob Reiner got murdered by his son.
Robert.
Spinal Tap 2 is a legacy sequel that kind of acts to make fun of legacy sequels through the band is getting back together thing. And it has some genuinely funny moments, but also it has the legacy sequel problem of the entire cast is really old and sad now, and it feels kind of sad to see them all old and sad now. I don't know if this movie needed to exist, and then Rob Reiner got murdered by his son, so R.I.P.
Started with Spinal Tap and ended with Spinal Tap. Alright, next is the next film in our Predator trilogy, Predator Badlands, which is another action movie. Kind of sets up Pred Avengers.
Yep.
The story just isn't great. It's a big fight scene, and I thought there were really cool fight scenes and some really boring moments, and the story just doesn't come together the way it was supposed to.
Number 37, The Phoenician Scheme. It is a Wes Anderson movie. It is yet another Wes Anderson movie. And like his last several, I'm really hoping that Wes Anderson eventually gets a grip and makes a normal movie again.
Gets inspired to make something new.
Because his style wears thinner and thinner on me every time, despite his craftsmanship. And this movie just did not hit for me.
What will he do next? Next is A Working Man. Jason Statham Fuck, what was this one about? He
a
doesn't
working
like
man.
the hackers. No, that was the beekeeper.
He gets attacked by the cartel people who want to take his construction buddies.
Oh, yeah.
And
The
everyone calls him a
cartel's
working
coming
man.
after him and his friends. His friend's daughter gets kidnapped, and then he has to save them. All are taken.
He's a working man.
Is a movie. It's a geezer teaser. Liam Neeson seems to have slowed down on geezer teasers, and Bruce Willis has Alzheimer's, so I guess Jason Statham was kind of the next natural choice, and I think he fits the role well. I think we're getting one this January, so the party continues.
Number 39, Silent Night, Deadly Night. A fairly fun revival of a dead franchise that has a unique twist. And that unique twist is the fact that our killer is Venom.
Yep.
It's a funny idea, it's got some good gore, and it is silly.
Flight Risk was a movie where Mark Wahlberg pretends to be a schlubby criminal.
With Topher Grace.
With Topher Grace, and they fly through the sky, and they try to land the plane alive, and blah blah blah. It was pretty okay. I mean, it was definitely kind of a low-rent January movie. Whatever happened to Mark Wahlberg? But it was fine.
Number 41 is Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Now You See Me has a legacy sequel where the old guys pass it on to the next generation. It's not the incredibly wacky, stupid, awful thing that the previous two were. It's pretty safe, and it works well enough, but also it's Now You See Me 3.
Next we have The Roof Man. The Roof Man was a movie about Channing Tatum living in a Toys R Us, falling in love with Mary Jane from Spider-Man. The concept is a lot more fun than the execution. They went a little too rom-com-y with it. They kind of made it seem like he was this perfect innocent soul. But the actions aren't matching with how they framed the movie. It feels very fake and sensationalized, unfortunately. And I think they could have done like an interesting like Coen Brothers Before They Were Bad type of movie. Where a guy lives in a Toys R Us or something and is a schlubby criminal, but instead they went some weird rom-com angle which made it fall apart.
43 is Screamboat. In the wake of changes to the public domain, we've seen a lot of shit like this, like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and some we'll talk about later. Screamboat is actually fun though. Not particularly good or well made, but
it's fun.
It is fun and knows what it is and leans into it about as good as you could for this concept.
Yep. Next you have Nobody 2. Take a John Wick clone about middle-aged schlubby dad, but this time they're on vacation. It is National Lampoon's Vacation with John Wick clone. Some fun action, by and large, feels cheaper from a production value standpoint. It's a little cheesy, it's a little schlubby. It's another John Wick clone. I'm tired of them.
Number 45 is Hard Eyes. It's a pretty generic slasher with a Valentine's theme in the 80s styling of pick a holiday and attach a slasher to it, which was just something that happened a lot back then. It's a little on the generic end. It tries to be Scream a little bit at the end, but it's not Scream.
Jerry
and
Seinfeld
also it stars
Jr. starring
Cuba Gooding Jr.'s nephew, who speaks exactly like Jerry Seinfeld, which is funny.
Next you have The Cleaner, which was Daisy Ridley making a rare movie appearance. She really fumbles around hoping that they'll make that new Ray movie. It is Ray does Die Hard, and I think she has an autistic brother, and she kills like 2 people, and it's like, it's fine, but it is a Die Hard clone starring Daisy Ridley.
You got the next one too.
Oh yeah, A Grand Tour is next. I'll do this. It was a really boring movie I watched at the film festival. I believe it was French. The whole plot was these really obnoxious characters who are in love try to travel around the world. One avoids the other, and it's very quirky and weird, and it's kind of like a Wes Anderson movie that's not very good.
Welcome to the Boomer Block. Number 48 is The Accountant 2. In The Accountant 2, Ben Affleck plays a autistic accountant / FBI agent who secretly runs a school of autistic child hackers and has to go on a road trip with his brother where they mend their bond and kill cartel members who are kidnapping autistic children in Mexico. And if that doesn't sound like a good time to you, I don't know what would.
Den of Thieves Pantera is a sequel to Den of Thieves, a movie that I thought was actually Mile 22 starring Mark Wahlberg. It's a really boring diamond heist movie, not very action-packed. The end gets really convoluted with shenanigans of breaking Ice Cube's son out of prison and then going back to prison, and then people are going all around prison and out of prison, and it's kind of a hokey diamond heist movie that doesn't really land on its feet very well.
Number 50, Wolfman. After upgrading The Invisible Woman, I was expecting more. I don't think it's outright terrible, but it is a little disappointing. There's like some kind of like weird mental illness allegory going on. It's just not nearly the movie that Upgrade or The Invisible Woman are. It doesn't have that sort of energy. It's just kind of a serviceable little werewolf horror movie.
Like a lot of 2025, mostly just failed to stand up to expectations, and also was a little bit bad. Novocaine is a sloppy-ish John Wick clone, imagining a normal guy who can't feel pain, which basically makes him John Wick because he can just get shot and stuff. An interesting enough concept, made very John Wick, Marvel, slop.
And also the fucking trailer.
And the trailer played every times. Good moment in this movie and played 7 million times up to its release.
Number 52 is Karate Kid Legends. In the wake of the success of Cobra Kai, Karate Kids has come back with a generic Karate Kid movie that's edited like complete ass. It plays out exactly like you would expect, except it feels like it was edited by a schizophrenic 14-year-old who snorted like 15 Adderalls before he edited it.
Next is Captain America Brave New World. It's probably our least favorite superhero movie of the year. They tried to launch Anthony Mackie as the new Captain America. The problem was the script was shitty. And it picked up very few of the plot lines from Falcon and the Winter Soldier that were set up for some reason, despite being made by the same creative team. But in its place, it picked up a lot of plot lines it didn't need, like the leader from Incredible Hulk, a plot line that was abandoned literally fucking almost 20 years ago. The Eternal in the ocean, people complained that wasn't fixed, so they brought that up. Captain Israel, not a great time to pull that one. It was very awkward. Anthony Mack, they did all the bells and whistles to make this not Anthony Mackie's movie, and every bell and whistle they threw over Anthony Mackie was stupid and bad. I can barely remember Anthony Mackie as Captain America. It was not memorable.
Number 54 is Jurassic World Rebirth, a reboot of the Jurassic World reboot series, because Chris Pratt has better things to do, but Scarlett Johansson doesn't. The monster in this movie is like a mutant freak dinosaur that looks like ass and is a CGI cartoon.
Is this a Rancor from Star Wars?
It's a Rancor from Star Wars, but shitty looking. I kind of like the premise where they have to go retrieve the MacGuffins, like the dinosaur egg to cure cancer or whatever. But it just isn't very exciting and it's really ugly.
Ballerina from the World of John Wick is a really sloppy John Wick movie. Doesn't know what the fuck it's doing.
Yep.
It feels like it was made by 6 different directors. The action is... It's like they gave it the budget of the first John Wick movie, but unlike the first John Wick movie where they used it really well, they didn't use it very well. And they still wanted to have all the action that you'd expect in John Wick 3, so as a result it's just CGI slop. The main character, kind of by design, wasn't that interesting. John Wick shows up out of nowhere to attempt to put this movie on some crutches, and it just... I mean, I complained that every time we talk about John Wick, I complain that John Wick was a perfect one-and-done movie, but it was so popular they made a bunch of movies, but despite everything, the movies kept being pretty solid. I think all 4 of the John Wick movies are pretty good, but even from John Wick 2, my biggest thing was leave it the fuck alone, and now we're finally at the point where they're just making shit, and apparently the Continental Peacock television show was also shit. Leave it the fuck alone. Just let it die. It's fine. Maybe in 15 years, make a legacy sequel where John Wick's old and has to teach the next generation. It's too soon. Let it fucking die.
56 is Happy Gilmore 2. If you loved Happy Gilmore, they do all the jokes again.
This is really
but now
IP drop here.
Everyone's really old.
The IP slop block.
And also then, after doing a remake of Happy Gilmore 1, it suddenly turns into like a golf anime where everyone does wacky trick shots and they play on like a field that's made of like molten lava and there's like monsters and
weird
shit. They have to
that do like poses. I'm the ultimate golfer.
Yeah, and Sora from Kingdom Hearts is like twisting himself up like a cartoon character and spinning around like Bugs Bunny. I don't know how it got to that point.
You know what? For a Happy Madison movie, it certainly could have been worse. I don't respect or like most of these movies.
It's not
but this
Phoebe
one
Holloway.
I didn't think was horribly bad. It was just not my thing. Speaking of not my thing, Minecraft, a movie that if I liked the Minecraft IP and got the constant references, maybe I would enjoy the movie more.
Chicken
It
jockey.
is certainly... There's some serviceable things in it. I feel like it's one of those things where... For example, I guess like I'm a fan of Batman, so like imagine if I watched... Imagine watching Avengers Endgame and having no idea what the fuck was going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never watched the Marvel film, but the first one I went to is Avengers Endgame because it's popular. I went to the Minecraft movie. I played Minecraft on my iPod Touch in like 2011 at school sometimes. I had the full version, which gave me about 6 different blocks, and I think it only had creative mode at the time.
It did, yeah.
So I made towers occasionally. I don't know about what a fucking chicken jockey is. I don't know what I know what the creepers are from Cultural Osmosis. I know some things from Cultural Osmosis. I know some things from the iPod Touch in 2011. I don't know about Minecraft. I'm confused.
And we're back. Number 58 is Tron Ares. Tron Ares is Disney's attempt once again to bring Tron back. It's, I guess you can never bring it back because it was never successful in the first place, but each successive attempt gets more and more pathetic, and this one happens to star alleged pedophile Jared Leto.
Yep.
Yep.
It was, it felt a lot more like superhero slop than the other ones. The 9 Inch Nails soundtrack was pretty good. Next we have Him, which was a Jordan Peele produced attempt to make a Jordan Peele football movie.
Yep.
It was a fucking mess. It tried really hard to look a lot smarter than it actually was. It was pretty vapid.
Yep.
It wasn't very well done. I don't know. I don't really care. I like football enough, but like I just can't take the drama that seriously. And a lot of this is like, what if football was like Jeffrey Epstein or something?
Yeah.
And, but what if they also like sacrificed people and football was also Midsummer? It's not very good.
Number 60 is I Know What You Did Last Summer, the reboot, which is kind of the opposite of Final Destination Bloodlines, where that took a bad horror franchise and rejuvenated it into an incredible dark comedy. I Know What You Did Last Summer is more of the same and just about as bad as the original series was.
Yep. Next we have Batman Aztec. It is another DC animated movie that played in theaters in Mexico, made for the Mexican audience. It looked incredibly cheap. They put no budget behind it. It was kind of non-ceremoniously dropped on other stuff. The animation wasn't very good. The concept didn't go very far. It just didn't really come together the way they wanted it to, and it felt cheap and not very worth it.
Number 62 is Love Hurts. After the absolutely incredible Everything Everywhere All at Once, Short Round is back, and he made a movie that was marketed as a John Wick clone, but was more of a mediocre, like, Jackie Chan knockoff. It's like 70 minutes long and cheap as hell. He doesn't nearly have the ability that Jackie Chan does to do action slapstick. And it also suffers from being a cheesy Valentine's movie, which does not help its case.
Next we have The Downfall of Diddy Quadrilogy, which was TMZ's take on the Diddy stuff, except it was really early in the trial, so they didn't actually have a lot of the real information that they could legally share without getting their shit sued out. So they somehow made Diddy look totally innocent of all wrongdoing. Like, you're like, you know he did crimes, but like, just based on what TMZ presented, seemed like the guy was just kinky.
Number 64, and I think
this is it for the Predators trilogy.
This is the final movie of the Predators trilogy, the final movie from M-Spiff, the film festival, and also the beginning of the The Downfall of Diddy was probably the beginning of the absolute dog shit tier, but Predators...
Downfall of Diddy was kind of funny.
Predators is a documentary about To Catch a Predator, whose explicit mission statement is to get you to empathize with
a bunch of child molesters.
Pedophiles.
Yeah.
And
make Chris Hansen look like a demon.
Chris Hansen is a demon because he makes pedophiles sad. And frankly, I think the premise is awful and stupid. And the whole movie, the only joy I got out of the movie was when they would play To Catch a Predator clips. And they had some guy in a goatee who would sit there and watch them and go, "This is very sad. The poor pedophile get their life ruined." He was like some like German guy. And then the director tried to get a bunch of really pathetic gotchas on Chris Hansen with trick questions that Chris Hansen just brushed off completely, and it was embarrassing. The big one
is he's like, I was molested too, and he's like, well, a lot of people who are molested think I'm doing good work. That was pretty much it.
Yeah.
And also I saw on TikTok, this is gaining TikTok traction, so we're early finders of this bad documentary. Peacock is putting it out.
What's the TikTok consensus on the pedophile apologist movie?
They're all excited to watch it. All they know now is it's a thing.
Actually,
there was a lot of people that were defending Chris Hansen because the thing about TikTok is you're kind of getting the masses. And a lot of the people commenting on the Predators TikTok thing where they're like, Chris Hansen's a villain and the Predators weren't that bad. There were a couple people that are like, ay caramba, I'm on TikTok. Of course I like Predators. And there were other people who were like, yeah, I like Chris Hansen, you fucking freak. Get out of here. Stop trying to shit on him.
Fair.
Next we have Five Nights at Freddy's 2, the sequel to Five Nights at Freddy's. They did it again. They can't keep getting away with this. Fuck, what is there to say?
Markiplier doesn't appear.
It's tired already. They add this weird doll woman who I don't know if she's from the games.
She is, yeah.
It's a lot like watching Avengers Endgame without context, as we said about the Minecraft movie, because I've only seen the first Five Nights at Freddy's. It lacks like the Matthew Lillard factor in a lot of the camp. It's just like
bad.
I don't know. It's bad. There's nothing to it. It's like trying to capitalize off of you, and it does.
Number 67 is Honey. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Number 66 is Popeye the Slayer Man. Basically the same thing as the Mickey Mouse public domain Screamboat and Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey. But more on the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey end, where Popeye became public domain, so someone whipped together a shitty 65-minute horror movie that's mostly people wandering around in a pitch black factory while a guy dressed like Popeye goes ay and punches them.
I feel like we saw a second one, or maybe
we did watch a second Popeye's horror movie that I can't remember the name of that was even worse, but or maybe it's this one. Maybe I'm confusing the two. They were very similar and also bad.
Alright, next we have Honey Don't, which was Joel Coen's third in his lesbian movies.
In his Cuck trilogy.
It was him filming a bunch of lesbian sex scenes, softcore porn scenes for his wife. And then they run around and they're trying to solve a really weird murder that
they don't solve.
Involves a cult with Chris Evans, and the characters are weird and nobody's very likable. It is worse than Pop My Cherry or whatever the fucking last terrible movie was.
Yeah, Joel Coen's life is pathetic and sad now.
Which is sad because he's Minnesota's own. He lives in the same town. He lived in the same town as some of our family members do. So it was. He's a hometown hero. Formerly hometown hero. Now he's just sad.
Number 68 is The Strangers Chapter 2. A couple years ago, The Strangers Chapter 1 came out, and I'm pretty sure it was the bottom of our list in whatever year it came out.
2023, I think.
It is.
I don't think it came out last. It might have come out like early last year, but it was almost 2 years.
This movie and the third one that's not out yet were all filmed simultaneously, starring one of the Riverdale people. Mm-hmm. And holy fuck, this movie looks like it costs $30. It's mostly the Riverdale girl.
It exists.
Yeah. It's mostly the Riverdale girl running around in the woods crying, and then she fights a CGI boar for like 5 minutes. And then the movie ends because they have to get to the third one because this is a trilogy for some reason. It's kind of like the most nothing horror movie maybe ever made. It has no plot, it has no style, it has no kills. It, frankly, is so awful that the average Blumhouse movie looks like a fucking masterpiece.
Yep. Next is Star Trek Section 31. We talk a lot about Star Wars on this channel. We both like Star Trek enough. Aiden probably seen more Star Trek straightforward. I've seen a bunch of episodes. I've watched a good portion of the original series and all the movies. So we decided we'd watch Star Trek Section 31 starring Michelle Yeoh, which is like a really shitty mockbuster. It's like the fucking like so it's a Guardians of the Galaxy mockbuster in the Star Trek universe is the best way to describe it.
Suicide
But
Squad.
It's really bad. Or Suicide Squad. There was a bunch of Suicide Squad and Guardians of the Galaxy clone movies that came out from the Asylum. Picture that, but embarrassingly tied to a massive IP. Mm-hmm. It is terrible. Michelle Yeoh is awful. Jamie Lee Curtis shows up for 5 seconds. It is absolutely just utterly, totally, completely embarrassing and fuck, dude. Why? What's the point? And we thought that would be the worst movie of the year. We thought in January there was no way it could get worse, but sometime in the summer something even worse came out.
Yep, the worst.
I think, like, universal consensus, this is the worst. I don't think we're breaking
the worst movie of the year, and quite possibly the worst movie ever made. And definitely an easy target, The War of the Worlds. I'm sure you've seen 1 million videos about Ice Cube's The War of the Worlds, where it's like 85 minutes of Ice Cube's face in close-up on a computer screen, where he screams and shouts, and he's admitted that he didn't know what was going on, and he was just given directions to make a bunch of faces, and they would just cut them into whatever they put on the screen. To call it a movie is frankly an exaggeration, because it is not a movie. It's one of maybe the worst things ever put to, I was going to say film. It's definitely not on film. It's
been put to fucking
one of the worst things ever put to
time. I don't know. Laptop, Microsoft Movie, or
Ice
iMac
Cube's,
Movie Maker.
Ice Cube's webcam. It is so truly embarrassing that it's shocking.
Play that Zelda post nut music, you know, when you beat the Zelda game and the Triforce starts slowly coming down, that song.
Yeah.
Play that as we talk about 2026 movies. You cut this out.
Per tradition.
Per tradition.
Let's look at some stuff
look
we got
in
coming
2026 to learn what will likely be on our next list, or if it's on streaming and I'm too lazy to buy the streaming service, then we'll not watch it, and you can find some other guy like Jeremy Johns or what's his face, the nostalgia critic.
Let's see.
Or,
Probably our first movie of the year is going to be Primate, a movie about an evil monkey.
Evil monkey movie.
Greenland 2 Migration. I don't know if you want to see that one.
I think that's pass.
Okay. Dead Man's Wire, new Gus Van Sant movie.
That looks kind of cool.
That looks really good.
January 8th, I believe. That might also come first.
Yes.
One or the other, depending what our schedule looks like.
Early on in January, we got 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. This one's not directed.
Earlier in this video, we liked it. I think Danny Boyle's sitting out of this one and making the third.
Yes.
Something.
But I really liked 28 Years Later, so I'm looking forward to that one. There's a movie called Killer Whale.
What is that about?
I assume a killer whale, but it doesn't have a Wikipedia
Perhaps.
page. From the director of...
What if it was Brendan Fraser back to Kill?
That'd be baller.
I'd watch that.
From the director of War of the Worlds 2025 comes Mercy, starring Chris Pratt.
No.
Yeah.
No fucking way.
Yeah,
they gave him a chance?
They gave him a chance.
He made the same movie but high budget with Chris Pratt?
Chris Pratt needs
It's the same movie.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god.
Yeah.
We forgot to mention the War of the World product placement, which was the big thing.
Yeah, the Amazon drones.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing Mercy.
Yeah, Mercy.
That, honestly, is the year washed right there? Is that it?
Yeah, Mercy has a good chance of being worst of next year.
Jesus Christ.
Like Chris Pratt Slopbuster, where he's
I can't imagine
fighting.
that's going to be very high up. I can picture it now in the bottom 15%.
The only thing that could make Mercy better is if it was a Screen Life movie, if I'm being honest.
It pretty much is, because he just sits there saying, AI, prove that I didn't kill my wife!
Return to Silent Hill, directed by the guy who did the first Silent Hill movie.
Sure. Why? How come... But, okay.
I don't know. Maybe it'll be good, I don't know.
Yeah.
The Iron Lung, directed by Markiplier, based on a video game I've never heard of.
I'm not seeing
I don't think I want to see that.
Is that even coming out to theaters, or is it some shit
apparently it is.
dropping on Patreon in there?
I don't know.
On the Wikipedia like it's real?
I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Let's see what else we got. The Strangers Chapter 3, of course. We're in it for the long haul on that one. Goat, I know that's a movie you were really excited to see. You were going to wear your fursuits.
I'm
just like when we went to
Fursona.
Just like when we went to Zootopia 2, but we didn't review it because we got kicked out.
I got arrested.
Yeah.
I got arrested at that one.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got. Psycho Killer. I don't know. I'm kind of interested in that. I like horror movies.
Yeah.
Scream 7 looks bad. I think we can all agree on that one. I mean, I'll see it, but it looks bad.
Yeah, I think I'm over new reboot Scream.
Maggie Gyllenhaal's The Bride.
That looks cool.
It looks interesting. I'm interested to see it. The Breadwinner. I know you were really excited to see that.
I don't know if I'm excited to see it. I saw a trailer for it and I mentioned it. No, I think we'll pass on that.
He directed the Weird Al biopic.
Oh.
So what do you think of that?
I didn't really like the Weird Al biopic. It was fine. It had some fun moments, but it wasn't. It could have been better.
Project Hail Mary, starring Ryan Gosling and directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who are apparently just not working on Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I didn't really. That looked really boring to me, and then I saw Chris Lord and Phil Miller, and then Ryan Gosling, and I'm like, I'll probably see that.
Ready or Not 2, I liked the first one
Ready
a lot.
or Not 1 is pretty good.
Hopefully. The Super Mario Galaxy movie, I'm sure, will be perfectly serviceable.
There's no way we won't see it.
There's
no way we won't find out.
The Drama with Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. We saw a trailer for that today, and it looks not like my thing.
That's not the type of movie I'm giving A24 money for.
The Mummy is getting another reboot.
By who?
Lee Cronin, who directed Evil Dead Rise, which I liked.
I'll watch it.
So
that sounds fun. I like The Mummy.
I hope it's good.
The
Devil Wears Prada 2.
Pass. I saw the first one on FX. I saw the first one on FX like 5 times in 2008-ish, circa 2008. Wait, hold up a second. I'm gonna plug my phone in now because I might need the alarm tonight.
For some reason, I'll let you come back. For some reason, we're getting Mortal Kombat 2, a sequel to 2021's Mortal Kombat.
Okay. I liked the first Mortal Kombat enough. It was a Marvel movie with some blood.
The Mandalorian and Grogu, of course. I know you're very excited for that.
I'm going to watch it. I liked the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian a lot. So maybe like maybe they separated themselves from the strict schedule a bit. Although they're also doing Ahsoka this year, the same team. And it's like, just focus on one.
Travis Knight, director of Bumblebee's Masters of the Universe.
Probably going to be a Marvel movie.
It's probably going to be a Marvel movie.
Sure, it'll be adequate. Travis Knight's pretty okay.
Oh, here's one I'm hyped for, actually.
I don't think it has a 0 chance of being good.
Scary Movie 6.
Fuck yes.
I hope it's good.
Yes.
I really hope it's good.
Oh. Alright, Poppy.
Toy Story 5. Never saw Toy Story 4.
The iPad movie.
And of course,
you're gonna miss out on Spoonie and the fact that Woody's like, I'm leaving for real now, Buzz. Just like I left for real in Toy Story 3. There's no more of these movies. Adios, gone for good. And this one, oh, a fucking iPad!
And we're ending June with Supergirl.
Yeah, Supergirl looks cool. Looks like Guardians of the Galaxy.
And
it's based on Woman of Tomorrow, which is a great comic.
We're starting July with Moana, the live-action version, starring the exact same cast.
I'm tempting fate here with how much I've been drinking, considering I gotta work in 6 hours.
But right after Moana, we get Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, which, if nothing else, is going to be interesting.
Christopher Nolan, usually, I mean, even his movies I don't like that much, and I won't say them because people like those movies, but he's bound to make something at least interesting.
We're also getting Evil Dead Burn. I was very happy with Evil Dead Rise, and Sam Raimi seems to be...
Presumably that's a different director.
It is. Sam Raimi's been using the Evil Dead franchise to test out new directors, and
who's doing this
hopefully
one?
It's good.
Someone we never heard of. Who did a bunch of VHS segments.
And
presumably.
Then, right at the end of July, we're getting Spider-Man: Brand New Day, which I don't know.
Hulk,
I don't know what
Punisher,
to expect of that.
Spider-Man in a brand new day.
Let's see. Untitled Insidious sequel. Not seeing that.
Probably not.
Coyote vs. Acme's finally coming out.
I think we got to see that just out of curiosity. Also produced by James Gunn.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of like the day the Porky Pig saved the Earth or whatever. That I do not remember that movie at all. But like, they somebody put up the money and Warner Brothers allowed someone else to distribute it for some reason because they were just that fucking cheap.
We're getting a reboot of Cliffhanger starring Lily James and Pierce Brosnan. And
I love Pierce Brosnan, but what
directed by the guy who directed Jungle Cruise and Black Adam.
Pass. I'll watch it.
I think
I'll watch it, but pass.
September.
We're running out of time. We gotta hit the highlights.
September, Clayface.
Okay,
probably
cool.
gonna be good.
Mike Flanagan.
Zach Kreger of The Whitest Kids You Know and Barbarian and Weapons is making a Resident Evil movie, which sounds fascinating.
Okay.
Let's see, we got Alejandro Inarritu's Digger starring Tom Cruise. Very excited for that.
Careful.
Don't know what it is.
Don't say that too fast.
The Street Fighter movie looks really bad from the trailer that I saw at the Game Awards, but maybe it's going to be good.
I like the Street Fighter movie from the 90s.
I do too,
Because
actually.
it's stupid.
Let's see.
It's
Let's
like the
see,
Mario
let's see.
movie where it's so stupid it kind of works.
Ebenezer, A Christmas Carol, directed by Ty West of the
A
X
Christmas
franchise.
Carol? Go fuck
A
yourself.
Christmas
with that
Carol
thing.
story.
Go fuck yourself.
The Hunger Games 6 or 7 or whatever number
I'm
we're on.
tired. I'm tired. They can't keep getting away
Oh, this
with
one's
this.
exciting though. Right at the end of November, we're getting Fokker-in-Law, the Meet the Fockers Legacy sequel.
They can't keep getting away with this.
Greta Gerwig's directing a movie based on Narnia 5.
Wait, is this a long-term sequel to Narnia? Because didn't they, like, switch up the characters?
Yes, they did. They keep switching up the characters because they only make one Narnia movie every 17 years. Violent Night 2 for some reason.
What? So David Harbour?
With David Harbour, yeah. And also in December, Jumanji 3 or 4 or whatever number we're on.
I've literally never seen any of those Jumanjis except for the original ones that they're
No.
none of the reboot ones.
Yes, we have.
Which one did we see?
Both of them.
I haven't seen both. I promise you I haven't seen the second one. I'll put a gun in my mouth
I'm
and
pretty
blow my
sure.
brains out if I've seen either.
We've
let alone
definitely seen the
second.
first.
The first one we saw.
It's the one with Jack Black and
yeah,
The Rock.
2017. They find the fucking arcade.
I don't
cabinet.
remember if
I
we
remember.
watched the second
We didn't
one.
watch the second one. That's when I started at the theater, and Star Wars came out like 2 days later. so
Right
we didn't watch it.
right in the middle of December, we're getting Avengers Doomsday, which is sure to be...
Something will be said
Technically
about
a
that
movie.
movie.
And we're getting Dune Messiah, which I'm very excited
In
for.
December?
Yep. Same day as Avengers Doomsday. Dune's
Who
gonna...
will yield?
Dune's gonna bury Avengers.
Oh God, I didn't even know about that.
Avengers
People are
is
still
gonna have to-
pretending that movie's making $2 billion.
Avengers is gonna have to yield to Dune Messiah
You
of all
can't
things.
beat Dune. Dune is hot right now. Avengers is not. Steve Rogers will return.
How long do you think Avengers is gonna get delayed for to keep it out of the Dune window?
Oh, probably pretty good. Because especially like Avatar is not performing the way it should. It's making money. It'll probably make money in a way. But it's at like 400 million after 2 weeks. I don't know, man. Christmas will help. I don't think it's hit China. But it's not the smash sensation of the first or the second one.
Okay, only 2 more movies for December.
And I don't know if Avengers is going to make that happen either.
The week after Dune Messiah and Avengers Doomsday, we get The Angry Birds 3. And then 2 days after that, we get Werewolf by Robert Eggers. And I'm a big Robert Eggers fan,
That's
so I'm
in
down
January?
for whatever.
And then
No,
20
that's the end of December. Werewolf.
Oh, hell yeah.
Starring Aaron Taylor Johnson, Lily
Oh,
Rose Depp,
hell
Willem
yeah.
Dafoe. That's the same cast
Aaron
as the last
be. Let Aaron be British. Let Aaron be British. Battle of the Werewolves movies.
one. Dude, this werewolf
Battle
movie,
of the Werewolf movie. No,
This werewolf movie-
is here.
Aaron Taylor Johnson, Lily Rose Depp, and Willem Dafoe. That's the exact same cast as his last movie.
Fuck yeah.
But
Fuck
it also
yeah.
has Ralph Ineson, who played Galactus in the Fantastic Four. He was also in Nosferatu. I forgot he was in
That's
Nosferatu.
freaking sexy.
He was all. This is the same cast. It's the exact same cast. It's literally the exact same cast as
Nosferatu
Nosferatu.
again. Nosferatu again. Yes. Dope.
So that's
Dope.
that's our preview of 2026.
I'm
we
sure more
already know.
shit will randomly come out that we'll also watch.
More shit will randomly come out, but
I plan on returning to M. Spiff.
I think it's pretty obvious what the worst movie of the year is going to be. It's going to be Mercy. Mercy's going to be the worst movie of the
So
year.
far, it looks pretty hard to beat. So, Aiden, 10 years of doing this. And I think 2025 was... I'm not going to be hyperbolic. It was very meh. A lot of people made...
was
A
okay.
lot of franchises came back that were meh. There was a lot of bad movies, but, like, the really bad movies were, like... War of the Worlds on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
You know? Star Trek Section 31 on
Amazon.
Paramount Plus. Like,
Plus.
you know, it's slop on the slop channels.
Yep.
Of course it's slop.
We got some
It wasn't like Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumanium quality, pathetic, sad slop.
Yeah. I mean, the worst of the year, War of the Worlds is probably the worst movie we've ever seen, but...
It's one of the worst.
It was Amazon slop, put out on Amazon. The slop this year was slopping hard, but it was also the stuff we expected
There was
to
also
be
just
slop.
a lot of stuff that undershot, like Mission Impossible. Wolfman. Lots of things where it's like...
Captain America.
There was a lot of stuff where it's like, you know, this isn't... Like Captain America, for example. It was fine. Anthony Mackie was fine. Give me one more shot. I might as well. I'm already going to be hungover tomorrow.
Captain America.
Anthony Mackie was fine. The movie was fine. It was just fucking messy. Everything was disappointing this year. There were a couple really good things. Like, the Safdie brothers both coming through with good movies was...
Begonia, nice big
awesome.
surprise.
Begonia. It was great. There was a lot of good stuff. There were a couple lows. But overall, this year felt pretty balanced. Like, a lot of the... When we were making our list, it wasn't one of those things where we're like, this... Some years we're like, this has to go below this, and like, blah, blah, blah. There's huge, like, debates about where stuff goes.
This year it was like... This year was just alright.
This year when we made our list, it was like, where are we going to quantify Mission Impossible as mediocre when compared to 50 other mediocre movies we watched, and 7 on either side of really good and really bad.
Yeah. It was essentially like...
Just such a nothing year.
50 okay movies and 10 great movies and 10 absolute pieces of shit, but
yeah,
it certainly didn't lean too hard one way or the other. It was just
some years are just like, this is a disaster,
serviceable
this
shit.
is amazing, and this year was just...
It was okay. It was fine.
Yeah. 2026, year 11 of Drunk View. Year that things change. And by change, I mean they're just making more of the same shit. They can't keep getting away with this. They can't keep getting away with this.
2026, Jimmy Kimmel's going to host the Oscars again, and we're going to play the Oscars drinking game again.
They can't keep getting away with this. That's what they say about us making drunk views.
Statistically, where are the Pokemon videos?
Pokemon 4 2027. August 2027.
No, it won't be that long, I promise.
Big delays. Big delays. Tiny hands. Big delays. Tiny hands.
You've got one more Yu-Gi-Oh video, then you get your Pokemon slop.
The slop. The shit.
I'm gonna film the new Pokemon video as a Scream Life. And I'm gonna have...
What the hell is this? Is this an Infernape?
I'm gonna cut reaction GIFs of Ice Cube reacting to the video into the corner for the entire runtime.
I think you should look. Is that an Infernape? You know, do like fake footage.
Burn me!
What the hell is my Cinderace evolved into an Infernape?
What the fuck is with these honey trees?
What? Too much water somehow, even though that's Gen 3. Pokemon coming soon. Stop. You can stop watching the lore novel videos.
One more month. I got you, man.
Just kill me.